guys, this is Lisa with Scenery Changes. I am so excited to be able to teach you how to knit and just want to say congratulations for even watching this video. You guys rock. You can do this. We can do this together. If you ever get frustrated, if you need a moment, just pause the video, rewind it, watch as much as you need. Take some healing breaths, repeat to yourself, I'm a knitter, not a quitter, and we can do this. It's the first time you've ever knit, and I'm so excited for you guys. If you want to say thank you, since we are offering this for free, you can either follow our YouTube channel or favorite our Etsy store. That would mean so much to us. But let's go ahead and get started knitting. Hello everyone, welcome to our first video about how to cast on. Casting on is how you start a knitting project. It is the most tedious part, but it's important because it'll make your project look nice, and it's how everything begins. You're going to need a pair of knitting needles. These are by Clover. I love these. They're bamboo, so they're nice, they're durable, they're lightweight. And since you're going to be doing a repetitive motion of like this all the time, I don't know about you, but I just cannot stand that metal sound. So I don't prefer the metal needles, but metal needles work great too. They're very slick and very easy for moving yarn. But I just know if you're like me and you don't like that sound of metal, these bamboo needles by Clover work really well. You'll need a size 4 or a size 6 for this project. Either one will work very well. And then a cotton yarn. Since we're going to be making kitchen rags, cotton is a nice durable, it's washable, very absorbent, it's a natural fiber, so just find a light color of a cotton yarn, any color you like, as long as it's a lighter color, just for your first project so we can see our stitches really well. Alright, let's get into it. Let's make things happen. So first you're going to need to make a slip knot, and I'm going to show you how to do that. You're going to take your yarn, make a loop. So I'm just holding it with my left hand and just crossing it over so it makes a loop. And see how we made a little X? And you just go, that's literally all I'm doing, just going, making an X. Then you're going to reach through the loop over top of your little X and grab the yarn and pull it through. Makes a slip knot. I'll show you again. The yarn, it's revolting. It's getting away from me today. Alright, so once again, you just take the short end of the yarn. This is the part that's attached to the yarn. I'll scoot it up so you can see. Ta-da! Short end of the yarn, cross it over the long, reach over top the X, pull through. And that's how you make a slip knot. And then we're just going to take our needle and just slip our little slip knot onto our needle, like that, and tighten it up just a little bit. So as you're knitting, for this first step, we're going to be casting on. So we are going to be continually putting loops to start our project on this needle. Once you get started in your project, you will always have your loops or your stitches on your left needle. Your right needle is the one that does all the work. It's the one that goes wee and actually does the motions. So we're going to get started by laying our foundation, if you will, where we need to put 20 stitches for this project. We're going to put 20 loops or 20 stitches onto this left needle. So to do that, we're going to take our right needle and poke it front to back through that little loop. And it's going to go behind our left needle. So behind, like that. And I'm kind of coming at it from the left, if you can see that. So the yarn is kind of to the right of this needle. So I kind of come around it on the left-hand side and push it through. So I've made an X. Now we're going to take our yarn and cross left to right or front to back, however you want to think about it. We're going to go left to right or front to back, and it looks like this. And then we're going to use essentially this right needle as just a tool. It's just going to be a useful thing that we use to pull the yarn through and make a new little loop. Ta-da! And then we're going to place this loop back onto the left-hand needle. Tighten it up a bit, like that. And if it gets a little crazy, just tug on your other yarn and just kind of get them all in order there. Show them who's boss. Don't be afraid. The yarn's not afraid of you. You don't be afraid of the yarn. Alright, so we're going to do the same thing again. Look, we've already got 2 stitches. Yay us. So, same thing, my little right needle, gonna go on the left hand side of the loop, or the stitch, however you want to think about it, front to back. I'm gonna hold it this way so you can see kind of what's going on behind the scenes here. We're pulling our yarn over left to right, and all we're doing is using this as a tool to push it and pull it to make a little loop like that. And then we just place it onto the left needle. And once again, I'm going to do another slow one here, and then I'll speed it up a little bit. Alright, on the left hand side of the loop, front to back, like this. Yarn goes around. Use our right hand needle to pull it through. Now we have our loop, and we place it back on the left. Alright, I'm going to speed up just a little bit because we're going to eventually have 20 stitches on here. So I'll just go ahead and keep putting them on. You can kind of get an idea of the rhythm. Actually, you guys will go much faster than this because you won't have a camera in your way. So the pupil will become the master, as all knitting Jedis say. And kind of like I said in the intro, we're just going to have a mantra that we're knitters, not quitters. So if this gets all tangled up and you get confused, feel free to just stop and start again. You know, hit pause on the video, hit rewind, do whatever you need to do. Because it's a journey, it's a process. Just be patient with yourself, you know? You've never had to move your hands like this or use tools like this before, so we're just going to be patient with ourselves and tell ourselves that we're going to get it. It's all going to be okay. Alright. Let's see how we're doing here. Almost there. And I like knitting because it's very structured. Crochet is more freeform. I like being able to definitely see my stitches like this. I like knowing, haha, there they are, I've got them, my prisoners. Like, I like knowing that my stitches are right there and they're not going anywhere. I like that about knitting. Alright, let's see how we're doing. See, and this is how you'll count your stitches, so you just kind of see how many loops we have on here. So we've got 3, 6, 9, 10, 13, 16, 19. One more, and then we're done casting on. Our cast on journey has come to a close. Alright, so now we have 20 stitches. You can see them. This is why we're using light colors, so we can see them really well. But if we just count them, you know, there's 3, 6, 9, 10, 13, 16, 19, and 20. Alright, so now that we have our stitches casted on, we are going to start knitting. And knitting is going to be essentially exactly what you just did with casting on. It's going to be the same motions. So we're going to go from the left side of the yarn, of the little loop, put our right needle through to make the X. We're going to loop our yarn left to right or front to back. Use our right needle as a tool. Oops. And if your needle slips out, that's fine. Just try again. Use our right needle and pull the loop through. So now instead of putting this new little loop that we just made back onto the left, like we did when we were casting on, instead, this is our new loop. This is the new guy. And the one that we just came through, that guy right there, is going to slide off the left needle. And casting on, your stitches are going to be a little tight, but that's okay. They'll loosen up as we knit. And so now we have a new loop on our right needle. And we can see the old guy, there he is down there, a little cast on stitch, who's just kind of hanging free, a little freeloader down there. And this is our new stitch on our right needle. And we're going to continue doing that. And essentially, that's all knitting is. It's just making loops upon loops. Alright, so now we're going to come from the left to the right. Make the X where our right needle is behind. Yarn goes left, right, or front to back. Or back, sorry, back to front. Pull it off. And again. Left side of the yarn. Here, I'm going to switch a little bit so you can kind of see this way what's going on. Yarn comes around. And we pull it through. Ta-da! This yarn goes around. Use our right needle. Pull it through. Needle goes on the left side of the yarn. Right needle is behind in the X formation. Yarn comes around. We use the right needle to pull it through. There we go. Goes around. Pull it through. I'm just going to keep going, but feel free to pause or rewind this video as much as you need to. So we'll just keep knitting. That's another mantra that I like to tell myself too, is that we just keep knitting, like so. Okay, so now we have knit to the end of our row, and you're thinking, what next? What do we do? So we're just going to essentially flip it around, and now this becomes our working needle. This is now the needle that we hold in our left hand, and we still have a little free needle to work with on the right. Yay! Isn't that cool how easy that happens? And we'll just continue what we did on the row before. So we're going to take our right needle, come from the left to the right, and be sure to knit, your end is probably going to look a little loose like this. Be sure that you're knitting the loop or the stitch that is actually on this needle, not these guys underneath. They're done. Those are our freeloaders. We just ignore them. We are going to be working with these guys who are on the needle. These are the ones that we want to work with. Alright, so we're going to go left to right, putting our right needle behind the left, and the yarn comes left to right or back to front, and we just use our right needle as a tool to pull the little loop through. Same thing, go on the left side of the loop, pull the yarn through. Go again, pull through, ta-da! And I'm going to go ahead and keep knitting and then check in with you once we've knit the end of this row. Okay, so I skipped ahead and I knit just a couple more rows just because I wanted to show you what it's going to start to look like. So as you keep knitting every single row, this is called a garter stitch, and it's going to look like this. And it kind of looks like rows of little W's. If you can see, I'm going to get close. We're going to test the focus on my camera. But you can see how it looks like, kind of like a little chain link or little W's, if you will. And so that's what it's going to start looking like on the one side, and then on the other side it's going to look exactly the same, only our cast on row, you're going to see kind of like these little bit of exaggeration on that side, but that's fine. But yeah, that's what your knitting is going to start to look like, and then I will see you in the next video where I show you how to cast off. For this project, we're going to do about 20 rows, so I'll see you after you've knit 20 rows, and then we'll learn how to cast off. So that was our first video about how to knit. We learned how to cast on and how to get a project started. In the next video, I will show you how to cast off, or essentially how to end a project. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, or favorite our Etsy store. That means so much to us. Reach out to us if you have any comments or questions. And once again, just always, we believe in the power of prayer. So if you're going through something tough, or you have praise or anything you want to share with us, just reach out to us, because we're here for you guys. And let's just keep knitting. You can do this. I'm with you. We got this.